Mm. Hi, I'm Leathur Rokk, and I got my eyes on you. I want to talk to you about my TabbyBoy. How does he look to you guys? Look at my baby. I'm really concerned about my TabbyBoy. He has not had much of an appetite. I can't get him to eat. And it's not just because I ran out of dry food and I've been forced to give him wet food and meat scraps, and I've had to actually resort to digging through trash cans to get meat for this cat to try to spark up his appetite. He seems like he's in some kind of arthritic pain. He walks with a little bit of a limp. I felt all his paws to make sure that he didn't step on anything pointy. Everybody here is conscientious about making sure that there's no pins on the ground or thumbtacks or anything like that. We had a pest control person here a couple of days ago, and this guy actually did more than the last guy who, as far as I'm concerned, just spread sugar water around. TabbyBoy killed 2 mice. I'm really worried about my cat. You know, when you have more than one cat and a cat dies, it's obviously a very terrible thing. But when you only have one cat and that cat dies, it's a different thing. It's a much more traumatic thing. I remember when Hobbs died, my diabetic kitty, who was 15, and yeah, and this kitty here, he is losing weight. I remember he was such a bigger cat. He really was. And he's got a little bit of a belly here, but look at his face. Look how thin my baby's face is. You see that pretty face? He's my baby. And as far as the dry food goes, I actually got somebody who owes me a whole lot of money to fork over a $20 bill so that I can go get a big 13-pound bag of food, like from Save-A-Lot is usually where I go. Well, a buddy of mine that I'm going to be talking about in a few minutes offered to go and get me some cat food a couple days ago. So he walked with me to 7-Eleven. And if you've been to 7-Elevens, you know that they're very convenient places, and a lot of them are open 24 hours a day. But they're not known for their low prices. And now they've replaced most of their cat food with empty gas cans and accoutrements for people who have cars. They had tiny 3.5-pound bags of IMs for $16. When I'm used to going to Save-A-Lot and I could get a big 13-pound bag of Kit and Caboodle or not Fancy Feast, Meow Mix, different things, you know. And it's raining right now, and we're expecting to have some thunder and lightning, and I don't do lightning. Now something interesting happened on the work front. I got a phone call this morning by 8 o'clock in the morning, asking me if I wanted to work to help paint houses, indoor house painting. That's one of the things my father used to do. My father did a whole lot of different kind of jobs. You know, when I was a little kid, he was always working. And I'm sure that I can do painting. But the thing is, I've been trying to get rid of a lot of clothes that I don't want, and I've been making a lot of donations and things. And I had some dungarees that maybe the zipper broke, or maybe they gotten too big and I was literally falling out of them. And I got rid of a lot of things, and now I don't have anything that I'm willing to just get paint over and ruin. Plus, okay, let me run this by you. Say somebody says they have work for you and they know that you really want work, and it's too cold and rainy out now to go playing guitar. Okay, if you didn't know, it's like, 42 degrees now. So the guy tells me, I said, okay, what's the address? He can't give me an address. He tells me a particular street, which is a ghetto street, about 3 miles that way. And I don't have a cell phone. And it's in what they call the North Side, which is predominantly a neighborhood where people don't look like me. Let's put it that way, since I don't want to say anything that might offend people. But it's called the North Side for a reason. Back when we still had segregation and everything, people like me did not go there. And I was raised to stay away from there because things happened to women there and stuff. and I don't have a legal means to defend myself because I live in a state that does not respect the Second Amendment. So I can't carry anything to defend myself. And a lot of things that you do have can be easily wrestled out of your hands and used against you. So the guy was saying, "Oh, you don't have anything to worry about because I have a gun and everything." I said, "Well, your gun and your gun permit's not going to help me because, first of all, you're not going to bodyguard me to your place of wherever this house is you're trying to paint. And if he can't, who has a job location and can't give the address to somebody he's hiring for his crew? Don't I have a right to know where my location is so that I could let my mother and a few friends know, oh, this is where I'm going? So maybe if something were to happen and I was to disappear, they would know where to send the bloodhounds." I know I seem like I'm being a little melodramatic here, but I think you get what I'm saying here. And I'm sure that maybe now I'm seeming like I'm some kind of flake, like I don't want to work to this person who I don't want to call an idiot. But come on, if you're a man and you are that tone deaf that you don't realize that women have to think of our safety because we have some biological disadvantages in muscle mass, strength, height, all that stuff. So, and plus, I don't really have anything, any kind of clothes to work to paint in. But, it's not that I don't want to work. If anybody knows me, they know that, believe me, if I had the money that a certain person has owed me for a while, I could have bought that school bus by now and I could have started working on it. And, that would be affordable housing for me when I got that together. But, you can't buy a used school bus on your looks. And as far as trying to get my ID and stuff, now I thought my paperwork was in my mother's bedroom, and she says it's not. And this room looks like a hurricane, an earthquake, and a tornado hit it, because I had been cleaning up and putting away things in the grow room to protect them against vermin, whatever, only to find out when I'm looking for something in the grow room and it's in one of the lower levels, the mice are starting to bite through and eat at things. And I don't have a place that I can start shipping stuff off to for safekeeping. And postage and handling costs a lot of money now, which is why my family didn't send Christmas cards this year. What's the matter, baby? Come on, people want to see your pretty face. Oh, you're going to complain. You know you're the star of my video, right? Isn't he pretty? This is my sweetheart. So, and I never did find out what I was going to be paid. But if a person doesn't know the address that they're going to send me off to, and I tend to get lost in neighborhoods where everything looks alike. And this particular neighborhood, they have these prefab housing. It's called the projects, right? And all the houses look alike. They all have white siding on them or some kind of brick, and they all literally are cookie cutter. I guess I don't know if there's a housing maintenance organization or something where they have to all look alike or something. And I'm really not in the mood to get lost in a bad neighborhood when I don't have any means of calling for help. And the last time I got lost in a neighborhood like that, the people that I did ask for directions, they didn't speak English or they ignored me. So, but anyway, that's what's up with my tabby boy. He's more than 15 years old. And, oh, you're sticking your claws in me. Thanks a lot. Oh, do you have any suggestions on how to get him to eat? I have given him chicken scraps. I gave him some canned pork. I gave him a whole can of Meow Mix, or not Meow Mix, the Fancy Feast, which of course those are little cans. One of my friends from high school, who may or may not be watching this when this comes out, actually rang my doorbell a few minutes ago when I was holding my sweet kitty. And we have a lot of people ringing the doorbell thinking that they're getting a hold of other people in the building. So we're used to it. Most of the time it's not for us. But I'm glad I answered because it was my friend and he had a can of food for me. He'd heard that I'm in Facebook jail, and by the way, I cannot post on Facebook until the 9th of February. And it's really kind of frustrating because you're reading your feed and you see comments, the things that people are saying, and you go to heart something or make a comment, and then you get reminded that you're under restriction and you're not allowed to communicate, and all your posts are going to be lower in the feed for the next 49 days or something. And you want to know why I'm in Facebook jail? Because I read a post about a serial cat killer in Massachusetts, and some people said that they knew who the perpetrator was. And I said, why doesn't somebody whoop his ass? And since when is saying the word whoop ass constitute a violent threat? You know, if you're a child molester and you're in prison, a lot of times those guys meet a bad end because people don't like child molesters. People don't like people that torture animals either. And there are people who have nothing to lose, and they figure if you're an old person and you are threatened with life in prison, that doesn't necessarily seem like such a bad thing. You know, 3 hots in the cot, you got a workout area. Not that I know, I'm not a jailbird. I've never been in prison. I don't care to go. Though sometimes I think that I could be mad enough that I would be willing to have to do the time if it would mean taking care of a problem. Which is a nice way of saying that if I know that you're torturing kitties or something like that, I'll come after you because I don't like people who hurt kitties. So what am I going to do about my kitty? I would really like to be able to take him to the veterinarian and find out what's wrong with him. And if that person who owes me the money that he does would only pay me back, I could afford to get him checked out. You know, veterinarians, like I was reminded by one of my cat rescue friends a few hours ago, they still have to pay bills too. They don't have free vets unless maybe you're homeless. People can get certain services and stuff. And I have tried to get veterinary treatment for homeless people who had cats, and I was not successful because they didn't cooperate. You know, you need to have cooperation with the people you're trying to help in order to help them. And most of the people I know are very irresponsible people. I hope you don't think I'm irresponsible, but I'm doing the best that I can. I love my baby so much. I love my baby. It's okay. I love you. Oh, he's such a good boy. And you're really sticking your claws in me. Please don't break my cheap jewelry. You my baby? Oh, come on now. Come on. Everybody wants to see your face. Okay, people want to see your face. So this is what's up with my cat. He just passed gas. Right, flatulent pussycat. I'm going to put you down. So, yeah, that's what's up with my kitty. So, oh yeah, and my classmate, my friend, he's going to show up with a big cart, and he's actually going to go and get that big bag of food for me. I have the money for it. It's just, you know, I don't have wheels of any kind, and I have a big bag that I could put it in so that if it gets a hole in it, the food doesn't all run out and stuff. But I'm hoping that if I get some normal dry food, I could pique my cat's appetite. I know that loss of appetite is not a good sign in older cats, and I really don't want to lose this cat. And because of this situation and because of just some other things, like, you know, my mother's in constant pain. She has been out of the hospital for about a week now and stuff, and I try my best to be a responsible daughter and, you know, just do the right thing. But sometimes we get frustrated with each other, and I yell at her and she yells at me, and she makes me so mad sometimes. And I'm sure a lot of it is I need to be more patient with her. But it's not easy being a full-time caregiver. It really isn't. Even though, and I'm only getting maybe 3 or 4 hours of sleep a night, you know, this isn't easy. And I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that when you're a caregiver to a parent, and I went through this with my father, and I'm going through this with my mother, and as much as I say I want to just move out of here and just leave everybody behind, but I don't think I'm going to do that. The thing is, if anything was to happen to my mother, I probably wouldn't even have a month here. I'd have to get the hell out of here. So the sooner I get that bus, the better. But what am I going to do about my cat? You know, I really wish I could get him some veterinary care, at least to find out what's wrong. But the thing is, at this point, say they do a bunch of diagnostic tests, and that costs a bunch of money. And then they're doing more and more tests, and that costs money. And I'm not going to go and have him killed because, I'm sorry, I think that's morally wrong. I may be pro-choice as far as humans and our pregnancies, but when it comes to cats, no. I mean, we don't, in America anyway, we don't kill our senior citizens just because they're old and feeble. I'm not going to go have my mother get a shot and put her down just because she has arthritis and a bad heart and maybe some other issues. But yet people do that so casually with their animals, and they say that that's the humane, compassionate thing. Well, I don't think killing somebody when they're not ready to die is compassionate. You know, I may have down days, and I may get like depressed sometimes. That doesn't mean I want somebody to kill me. I know that it gets better. These, you know, you get these episodes because, and it usually caused by things that are going on in life that are messed up. But things are in constant state of flux, that change is the only thing that you can really count on. But I am worried about my cat. And so that's today's video. So, and I don't ask for prayers or anything like that because everybody has different creeds and stuff, and not everybody believes that that sort of thing does any good. For me, magic is what works for me. And, you know, and you don't need to have a belief in a deity for that to be effective, but that takes a lot of energy out of you. And when you're dealing with people who have health issues, it's really hard, and it takes so much. And yeah, I'm so worried about my cat. So that's all I have to say. So if you have pets, if you have senior parents, love on them, take care of them. Nobody lives forever. And, you know, I'm doing the best that I can. Yeah. All right. Talk to you in a couple of days. Bye.